Get up, get out, and get something. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is October 3rd, 2018. Let me give a shout out to my man, the Crypto Lounge. Excellent song request right here, boy. Outkast, Get Up, Get Out. This is off that Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music. Classic album right there from the early 90s. What's good, people? Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm rocking my Tour de Crypto tee. Shout out to my man Blake for this one. Blake Rizzo, thank you for sending me this tee. And also, shout out to Rich Quitliano. He sent me some nice coffee, tip of the Andes. He said this is really good coffee, so I'm gonna check it out. I appreciate it, Rich. Very thoughtful of you to send me that. I need my coffee to keep me through these days, get me up and get out, you know. Today we're going to be talking about, I follow, again, this is probably like the fourth or fifth video I've done on this Venezuela Petro. Well, they finally actually launched their digital cryptocurrency backed by barrels of oil. I'm not too sure how many barrels, if it's 5 as a standard contract like in the futures, or if it's just 1 barrel per coin. I'm not sure, but we're going to look at that. That's pretty important. Again, these little incremental steps that a lot of these countries that are locked out from doing their own thing, you know, from the SWIFT system that the Western countries kind of have hold on. These incremental steps that you see these countries take are going to be worth something in the future, believe me. And then the second article out of Bloomberg, Puerto Rico Noble Bank seeks sale amid crypto slide. Looks like they're going under. They're trying to liquidate as much as they can. You know, it's been a lot of, I've seen some headlines of other people talking about this on YouTube and on Twitter. But this article out of Bloomberg is going to give us the nitty gritty on what's really going on with this bank and if and how this affects cryptos. So we'll take a look at that. But first, you know the routine, guys. We got to take a look at that market cap. We are currently at 218 billion at the time of recording. Bitcoin's dominance is at 51.8%, up a little bit here. But overall, we've taken a couple billion off of the market cap, the global market cap, and we really haven't seen much action so far. We're getting close to that trend line that I drew a few days ago. So I'm expecting some price action at this level. I can't predict which way it's going to go, but you know, we could bounce off of it or we couldn't. You know, we could break below. It's 50-50 at this point, but just know that to expect some price action at this level. So let's take a look at this first article out of Bloomberg, and it's regarding the Puerto Rico bank, Noble Bank, seeking a sale amid crypto slide. Looks like they're having financial issues and they're doing a fire sale. They're trying to sell right now between 5 and 10 million, which is insane. And that's basically just to get the fair value of their license. The firm is said to have lost clients, including Bitfinex and Tether, it says. So it doesn't look like Tether's money is actually in the banks. Looks like they lost them as a client before they've gone down. It may be the reason why they've gone down. So let's read this really quickly. Noble Bank International, the Puerto Rican financial services firm with clients that have included prominent cryptocurrency ventures, is looking for a buyer, according to a person with direct knowledge of the situation. The bank has lost many of its customers, including Bitfinex and Tether, and is no longer profitable, the person said. The company could sell itself for a price between 5 million and 10 million, based largely on the value of its Puerto Rican license to operate as an international financial entity, the person said. So yeah, it looks like Bitfinex, Tether are no longer even with this bank. I don't see any contagion there spreading back into the crypto space, but you know, who knows what other ventures or companies were relying on Noble Bank to operate. I don't know how that's going to go down. Let's continue to read here. A spokesperson for Noble declined to comment and a representative for Bitfinex and Tether didn't immediately respond to a message seeking comment outside of normal business hours. Even in the world of cryptocurrencies, known for their rapid swings, this year is proving to be unusually perilous. Bitcoin, the largest digital currency, has lost about 2/3 of its value since December's peak. Noble Bank attracted attention in cryptocurrency circles earlier this year because of its willingness to work with Tether and Bitfinex, which was dumped last year by Wells Fargo & Co. The two crypto ventures, which share management, were subpoenaed by the U.S. Commodity Trading Commission or Futures Trading Commission in December as the regulator examined whether Tether has more than $2 billion in customer money to back its virtual coin, a person familiar with the matter said in January. Authorities haven't accused Bitfinex or Tether of wrongdoing. I'm going to say that again. Authorities haven't accused Bitfinex and Tether of wrongdoing, and this is from an inquiry they did back in December of last year. So almost a whole year has gone by with no rulings or anything from the subpoena that they did on Bitfinex and Tether. And while Noble faced an audit from Puerto Rico's main bank regulator last year that raised concerns, according to a person with knowledge of the situation, it hasn't been faulted publicly. In June, Tether released an analysis of its bank accounts by a law firm that the company says shows it has adequate dollar reserves. Still, the lack of a full public audit has left British Virgin Islands-based Bitfinex and Tether, incorporated in Hong Kong, facing questions over how their business operates and whether they boost the price of Bitcoin and other virtual currencies. Puerto Rico has seen a surge of cash related to cryptocurrencies. By the end of 2017, cash and equivalents held by so-called international financial entities such as Noble soared to $3.3 billion from $191 million a year earlier. That's a huge jump, according to data from Puerto Rico's bank regulator. As of June 30th this year, the total has dropped to $2.6 billion. The majority of that money on the island was held by Noble. People familiar with the matter said earlier this year. On its website, Noble said it used BNY Mellon as its custodian. BNY Mellon no longer has banking relationships with Noble, one person said. As an international financial entity, Noble must report suspicious financial activities and help U.S. government agencies prevent money laundering. Still, accounts tied to non-Americans can remain anonymous if the assets are held through offshore companies or trusts. Some of Bitfinex's customer activity at Noble may be shielded under such rules because of its British Virgin Islands registry. So I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on this. Looks like they may have, for whatever reason, Bitfinex and Tether left Noble Bank, and that may have caused them to really go under. May have been a majority of their business, so I don't know what reasons they did leave, but they did leave, and it doesn't look like their funds, meaning Bitfinex or Tether's funds, are in jeopardy. Now, I'm hearing rumors. I talked to someone who knows someone in Wall Street, and they're saying that Tether is in trouble big time. I've been hearing this for a long time. And it doesn't mean that they're not in trouble. But my whole thing is, if Tether's in trouble, then the whole crypto community, the whole crypto market is in trouble. So don't think, oh, I'm just not going to be in Tether and I'll be safe. If Tether goes down, and personally, I think the only way Tether does go down is from regulators. Regulators coming in with some type of subpoena to charge someone or shut down Tether somehow. That's the only catalyst that I see that will cause Tether to go down. So the very people that we want to regulate this space will be the ones that will cause a potential black swan in cryptocurrencies. And it's ironic, I was telling my boy, we all are looking for a black swan in the equities market or in the traditional markets, and the black swan might end up being in cryptos. So you guys let me know your thoughts about that. I personally think that, this is not good for cryptos, not just Tether. If you think you're gonna be out of the way of anything that happens with Tether by not being in Tether, you got it twisted. Me personally, here's what I think. If Tether were to be subpoenaed, or not subpoenaed, but they've already been subpoenaed, but if the regulators were to come down with charges, fines, and basically make Tether shut down, I think you will see, here's the scenario I see. I see a panic out of Tether. So you're gonna have a whole bunch of people selling Tether to go back into Bitcoin. What's another one that's really heavily tied to Tether? Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, the majors. You're gonna see a huge move from Tether into those. So you're gonna see a quick pop in those assets, those cryptocurrency assets, and then you're gonna probably see a panic sale out of those. So you're gonna see a pop up and then a slam down. And I think we could see up to 50-60% pullback from near where we are now. Granted, we may see a pop up maybe to like 7,500 or something like that off of some type of event, black swan event. You'll see a pop in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, if Litecoin is heavily traded in against the dollar, the Tether. You'll see a pop first, and then you'll see a slam of at least 50-60%. Just keep that in mind. If you swear up and down that Tether is doomed, then you probably need to be in actual US dollars and not in any type of derivative of a dollar stable coin right now, other than maybe Gemini, because they are backed 1-to-1. But a lot of these other stable coins, it's questionable about whether or not they're fully collateralized by dollars. Again, value is all perceived. So the external catalyst for me is one of these regulators, CFTC or SEC, one of those coming in and really stirring the pot and causing some issues. So we'll have to see what happens. You guys let me know. I know I was long-winded on that, but I really wanted to explain exactly my thoughts on this whole situation without any FUD and any of that stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below on that article. The second article out of News BTC, it says here, Venezuela formally releases Petro. Will it aid the country's economic recovery? I don't think so. Just off the rip, I don't think it will. But let's take a look at it, because people aren't even using this, or won't be able to use this oil-backed cryptocurrency, I don't believe. But let's take a look. Venezuela's oil-backed cryptocurrency, the Petro, will be released to the global markets this Monday, making one of the first cryptocurrencies in the industry to be created and administered by a government. This is big, guys. The cryptocurrency is part of the government's economic recovery, growth, and prosperity program that came about after the country fell into economic turmoil following a messy political switch to socialism, which was caused by themselves. Make a problem, then fix it, and then feel like you're the hero, right? That's how these governments do. While speaking to the country during a televised address, Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela's president, said that the Petro is practical because it is backed by physical assets, including the country's oil and precious metals. Maduro says here, the Petro, unlike other digital cryptocurrencies, doesn't need to be mined because it already has a value. It is shielded with Venezuelan oil and mining wealth. The country has notably forced banks and businesses to accept the Petro and to treat it the same as the country's fiat currency, the bolivar, which has been the victim of hyperinflation over the past year. The government now requires the Petro to be a legal substitute to the bolivar for everything ranging from real estate to groceries. Oh, so people will be using this. Maduro clearly has high and unrealistic hopes for how impactful the Petro will be to Venezuela's economy, expressing that their openness to nascent technologies like crypto will be the incubator for a new and robust economy. In addition to turning a new leaf for the Venezuelan economy, the government expects the Petro to neutralize threats of illicit activities in the country. This includes the black markets and money mafias, which the government blames for the bolivar's hyperinflation and the country's economic troubles. Come on now. So you're telling me all that monetary, fiscal irresponsibility didn't have anything to do with it? You gotta be kidding me, people. Petro not being utilized by Venezuelan citizens, Bitcoin the most popular substitute. So it says, despite the government's efforts to mandate the use of Petro, it is not being widely used by the country's citizens who are turning to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in order to protect their money from the Bolivar's inflation. Now, I just will say, I mean, they just did make this live on Monday, so we got to give it some time to see what type of reaction we get from the citizens. According to Volume Tracker on CoinDance, Venezuela's Bitcoin trading reached an all-time high last week and is already close to surpassing last week's high in the first couple of days of this week alone. Last week, Venezuela exchanged approximately 620 billion bolivars for Bitcoin last week and have already traded approximately 640 million bolivars for Bitcoin this week alone. In addition to Bitcoin surging in popularity, the cryptocurrency Dash has seen increasing Venezuelan adoption in the past few months, making Venezuela Dash's #2 market in the world. And the article finally finishes up by saying, although U.S. citizens are banned from buying the Petro due to sanctions from the White House, it is unclear how well international investors will take to the state-backed cryptocurrencies. So I'm loving this because this is an exercise to see a real-world scenario where cryptocurrencies are going to be used. Now it's backed by a physical asset, and we all know eventually that peg dwindles away. We all know that. May not be tomorrow, may not be this year, but that's the nature of a money or currency backed by another asset. It's just basically a derivative of an asset. So eventually they'll see how many people, how much reserves they have of that particular asset. They'll start printing more cryptocurrencies, in my opinion, more Petro. But we'll see. I don't know if it's I think it's a private blockchain. I believe it's a private blockchain that the government controls. So yeah, I can't see this really doing anything to free the citizens, but this is a great example or a test bed for seeing how, you know, cryptocurrencies really work in a full-on implementation within a sovereign country's monetary policy. So again, this is what excites me. You guys let me know. Do you think this coin is going to be successful domestically? Not talking internationally, because we know that the U.S. government has put sanctions on this new Petro crypto. So I don't know how much traction that's going to get, because if any country uses it, they're going to become sanctioned as well. So I think the spread of this petrodollar across the globe will not really happen. But I'm just curious to see what you guys think will happen internally. Is this a benefit? Will this slow down the hyperinflation of the Bolivar? I don't know, man. This is so new. Like, I don't know. This is all new. So I don't have anything to go off of. My guess would be yes, it would. It would kind of help transition them or slow down the hyperinflation. But at some point, we all know it's going to become manipulated as well. It may be 10, 20 years down the road, but hey, we'll see. So that's pretty much it for today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click that bell. And if you do subscribe, make sure to share this video. We got to start sharing these videos, people. Share them with friends, family. Get people involved and have them learn truly what cryptocurrencies are about and the latest news on it. It's your boy Crypto Blood. That's my 2 Satoshis for today. Holla!